NHS Trust signs first deal with Google. Contracts with 5 trusts to share patient data are part of transfer of DeepMind Health. So when people talk about whether or not the NHS is being sold, well, it's not one thing that gets sold off in one go. It's all bit by bit. And this is by Madhumita Murgia, the European technology correspondent. I wonder if she, or possibly he, is based in Brussels. And don't forget, we've got some comments here as well, which we'll be going into in a minute. 5 National Health Service trusts have signed partnerships with Google to process sensitive patient records in what are believed to be the first deals of their kind. The deals came after DeepMind, the London-based artificial intelligence company, transferred control of its health division to its Californian parent. DeepMind had contracts to process medical data from 6 NHS trusts in Britain to develop its Streams app, which alerts doctors and nurses when patients are at risk of acute kidney injury, and to conduct artificial intelligence research. The announcement came 2 years after the Information Commissioner's Office ruled that the Royal Free Hospital NHS Foundation Trust's transfer of 1.6 million identifiable NHS patients' records to DeepMind to develop Streams was unlawful, as the patients were not told what was being done with their data. 5 of the trusts that had contracts with DeepMind, including the Royal Free and Imperial College Healthcare NHS Trust, chose to sign new deals with Google, while Yeovil District Hospital NHS Trust declined to do so. Taunton and Somerset NHS Trust has also signed a contract with Google, but said it would not use the Streams app. A spokesman for the Yeovil Trust said it had decided not to roll out Streams and therefore would not be working with Google. A Taunton Trust spokesman said it had signed a new partnership with Google until 2022, despite choosing not to use the Streams app anymore. According to documents, which you could click on that if you wanted to, published by the Royal Free, the medical data that would be shared with Google would include sensitive details including medical history, diagnoses, treatment dates, and ethnic origin. Oh my God. No other instances of the NHS sharing identifiable patient data directly with a US tech company have been previously reported. In November, DeepMind and Google announced that the London AI Group's health work would be wholly absorbed by the newly formed Google Health Unit. So DeepMind was just temporary, it was all just a front for Google. At the same time, Google dissolved an independent review panel of academic and data governance experts that had been appointed by DeepMind to provide oversight of its medical data use. Right, so the oversight is gone. Google confirmed to the Financial Times that it had no plans to reinstate the panel or publish its contracts with the NHS, as DeepMind had done. So no transparency at all. In December, then Health Minister James O'Shaughnessy said the government would seek a full explanation from Google about its plans, including why it had shut down the panel. A spokesman for the Department of Health and Social Care did not comment on whether it had received satisfactory explanation. Professor Donald O'Donoghue, former chair of the panel, said in the blog post, "I'm disappointed that the IR experiment did not have the time to run its course." Mustafa Suleiman, who oversaw DeepMind Health, recently began an extended leave of absence from the company. He said on Wednesday that it made him incredibly proud to reflect on the team's journey and achievements over the past 3 years. Moorfields Eye Hospital NHS Foundation Trust, University College London Hospitals NHS Foundation Trust, the Royal Free and Imperial College all said that after careful consideration, they had decided to transfer their agreements to Google Health UK. A lot of PR sounds in there. Phil Booth, oh, he's good, coordinator of medical data campaign Med Confidential, said if NHS bodies are signing contracts to share large amounts of patient medical data and data with foreign corporations, then we the patients, the public, have to know what's being done is fully consensual, safe and transparent. The regulatory regime has been slow to act in this country and has yet to demonstrate the will to enforce the law on such breaches. A Department of Health and Social Care spokesman said the NHS has unrivaled data resources which can be used by researchers to develop cutting-edge treatments. and unlock solutions to some of healthcare's biggest challenges. We support initiatives which use technology to deliver benefits to patients, but any partnerships between the NHS and private companies are required to operate within the strictest parameters of transparency and accountability while complying with data protection laws. Right, okay, so that's the government. And it's just very interesting the way in which this type of an article works. They tell you the bad news, they then tell you the government side. So you finish off hearing a load of bullshit from the government, and it's very difficult to stay sane. And let's have a quick look at the comments section and see what people are saying. Here's the first one from 2 minutes ago. Classic Google. We will provide you with a relatively low value service or public good, and in return you will surrender massively valuable data which we will use to drive our commercial returns. If you have 1.6 million data points, you can map the whole of the UK and probably Europe and the US. There's no point in individuals opting out. You're statistically insignificant. The quote from the Department of Health demonstrates the extent to which they have been captured by the Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook narrative. The next steps are that Google will analyze the MRs and make the helpful suggestion that their AI capability, the medical records, their AI capability could be harnessed to assist diagnosis and treatment to achieve the lowest cost outcome per patient. Follow the Department of Health logic. Why wouldn't they agree? This will be followed by another helpful suggestion that Google could use the data to operate the purchasing function, procure the best combination of drugs personalized to the needs of the individual patient, and deliver further savings for the NHS. What's not to like? Until you realize that you've created a monopoly supplier who collects an economic rent by pushing down the margins in the pharma industry and extracting monopoly prices from its customer. Healthcare is the highest value market across the world, between 10 and 25% of GDP. Does anyone really think that Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, etc. are in this to sell advertising and direct market low value consumer goods? This is about the capture of our most sensitive data and the economic rent or super profits which they will capture from doing so, helped along by short-term thinking from our government. How can they regulate this when they are a core part of the problem?